How's it going, everyone?
Doing good, man. Thank you so much for having us.
That was a beautiful intro. In case you're just tuning in for the first time, this is Immigrant's Child. Please go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Well, I'm Josiah. I play the bass, obviously.
My name's Mario. I play guitar.
My name's Kiana. I usually sing.
I'm Colin. I play drums.
Welcome to the sofa, guys. How are you feeling today?
Good.
Nice.
Very good.
Yeah.
It's finally out for the first time in like months. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys started us off with a song today. What was the name of that song?
Yeah, that song is called Carefully, and it's from our newest EP that came out last fall called Papalo.
Nice. Papalo. Now, I believe that is not an English word.
No, it's
Specifically based on the pronunciation you just used too.
yeah.
You want to tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah. Papalo is Nahuatl, which is a language that's native to Central and South America, and it means butterfly.
Huh. And it seems like butterflies are a bit central to the theme of Immigrant's Child on a couple of different levels, as might be seen on the camera. I've got a really cool sweatshirt on, and it's got butterflies on it, and it is your guys' sweatshirt. How did butterflies become the official mascot for Immigrant's Child?
I feel for Kiana, butterflies hold a different meaning, but in the immigrant sense, the butterfly, the monarch butterfly, is the representation of immigration. It's a symbol for immigrants here in the U.S., especially when you look at dreamers. And so from that, with the name being Immigrant's Child and us having really strong ties to our immigrant identity, except for Colin, we decided that a lot of the imagery that we wanted to utilize and symbolism moving forward was going to be butterflies. So you'll find it on the merch, you'll find it on the EP cover, and specifically the monarch butterfly being like the main one. But all those butterflies that you see everywhere that we utilize, they're all native or in the region of Central America, being Mexico and whatnot, and other countries as well.
I had no idea that the monarch butterfly was a symbol for immigration. That's really interesting. And you said that there's a couple of other butterflies that you guys use, but the monarch is the main one.
Yeah.
Nice. This is probably a bit of an obvious question, but where did the name Immigrant's Child come from?
That one, our dad came up with the idea. I think it was kind of an offhand joke at first, but it ended up sticking. Our original members, we came from immigrant backgrounds, so Mario was born in Mexico, Josiah and I are second generation here in America. We're the first out of all of our cousins to be second generation. All the rest of our cousins are first generation, and so we all just come from strong immigrant backgrounds, and we are just immigrant children.
Yeah, that lines up, I think. How long have you guys been together as a band?
The three of us have been playing music since
2011.
Yeah, it started off. I met Kiana and Josiah through a friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours, when we were in high school. And at the time, he introduced me to them because they were looking for a drummer. And in high school, I was actually playing drums a lot more than I was playing guitar. And they needed a drummer for their church group, for their worship group.
Yeah.
So that was the very first interaction I had with them. I was just playing drums and learning Christian songs with them. And then after
Good music.
Venture far away from that.
Eventually, just as I said, we started moving away from it. We had to sit down with their parents, and they were really supportive of us continuing to play music, and so we did. But then the hardcore formation where we got a name and we started performing shows didn't come till 2018?
2018. I think our first show was, no, I think it was 2019. 2018 or 2019, I'm trying to remember. But I think it was 2018 when we played our first show.
Yeah. And that was because of a friend of Josiah's, Jessica, and she was like a key kickoff point for us. She helped us start writing because she came in with songs. And from there, you know, it was like that motivation, that push to be like, all right, well, I think we did enough screwing around. Why don't we actually walk the walk, you know? We can play these instruments, let's start writing and go play in front of people now.
That time I actually played drums for 2 of the songs.
Yeah, that's
It's not very good.
we had a drummer in. Yeah.
We were just like, didn't really have a drummer because Mara moved to guitar. We didn't really have a drummer, and so I just like, yeah.
You just make it happen.
Yeah, I'll show you one day. It's not very good.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Were you singing at the same time?
No,
Okay.
I could barely play drums. Like, just alone, but Mara and I were switching off on both. Well,
No, Jessica.
Jessica was singing a lot. I thought she had one song that you sang. No, you and I sang a couple together.
Yeah.
But at that time, Jessica and I were switching off on who was singing for the songs.
Nice. And you guys have been playing since 2011, though.
Yeah.
Just, I feel like I could tell based on how tight people are, how like telepathic sometimes they play. Some of those hits at the off the first song that you guys played right at the end, those like fast, like well-timed hits sound really cool when people like hit them really like that. So
Yeah.
great hitting of those hits. Thank you. As much as I can. So you released your first album in 2020, maybe. It was a single, right? Up till that point, you guys had been playing some shows. So were you doing mostly originals through that time period?
Yeah.
Kind of testing the waters?
It was all originals. Like it's kind of funny because we talk about it a lot. Where we tried so hard to do covers. Like we tried to pick a cover, stick with the cover, and it just like we never stuck with any of them. And there was like a slight transition period with our band, and then we ended up, you know, recording everything. But yeah, we tried to do at least a couple covers to like fill our set, but then we decided to just write instead. Throughout the whole time.
That makes sense, yeah. So, do you have any favorite stories from before you released your first album? As a sort of a band, when you were performing, doing like house shows or playing out at like venues? Anything specific come to mind? I know, Colin, you only recently joined, right?
Yeah, I played the first thing we did was actually Canada Jams
That's
March
awesome.
of last year.
Nice.
So
I love those guys.
almost a year and a half.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're actually very familiar with it.
Favorite memories, when we had, with our old drummer Brendan, we were playing a house show for Halloween. He went to, like, very spooky, especially because he went to go grab his cymbal to stop it and sliced his thumb instead. But he was pretty drunk, so he just kept going, and there was a time to finish the song, and he's like, guys, his drum sets are covered with blood.
That's a very Halloween-y situation.
And then the neighbors called
That one gets better too, though. Aside from just the cops, that was the first time we ever played a cover. And I'm pretty sure it might have been during that cover. We played Mr. Brightside. Because we were like, well, when we got the offer to play the house party, and especially for it being a Halloween party, we were like, well, we actually have to have like a song people know this time around so that, you know, people can party. And kid you not, like the first opening like notes, everyone like swarmed to the back. Like it was like decently like packed where we were at, and then everyone just like flew in.
into the room to come see
And
Mr.
it went from like a good temperature, like being super hot and sweaty and stuffy,
Yeah.
just off of the like Mr. Brightside, and everyone was like losing their mind. And
Yeah.
like Kiana said, Brandon, we look over and Brandon's got a crime scene in front of him. Just like blood splattered everywhere. Like, are you okay?
That's
We kept going too.
Yeah. We did. Until they were like, they called the cops, and then they're like, no guys, stop playing. The
Yeah.
neighbors called the cops.
Aw. Yeah, that's also very typical of Halloween parties.
We only had like 2 songs left too.
Yep. And the audience was like, keep going, keep going. We like started the second to last song, and then the host came running from the front door because apparently the cops were still there, and they were talking to him, and they're like, no, stop.
Oh man, that's that's a classic Halloween story.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Speaking of Halloween, what's your guys' favorite candy?
I'm a chocolate guy. Dark chocolate coconut coffee. Yeah.
So there's like a chocolate bar that's like that, isn't there? Like, it's not Payday.
Well, I'll say I am the sociopath that loves Almond Joy.
Okay.
Yeah. They're great.
I respect it. I respect it. I'm not against that.
That's your bad who knows. I feel like Payday and Almond Joy are the same.
Yeah.
I can't do coconut candy.
So,
Because the Mexican candy, there's it's like Scooter.
check the calendar.
Scooter's trying to plan his day out.
That is actually adorable. We need like a scooter camera.
We do.
Yeah, right?
Just like go in the corner to see what Scooter's doing.
Organizing away.
Well, I think we're just gonna have to stare at my calendar for a minute.
That's okay.
Write it down.
Doesn't look like anybody's chatting with us yet, but for anybody that is tuned in right now, feel free to send us some messages. We've got a laptop hooked up to a television, and Scooter's currently laying inside on the laptop. But I can pull up the messages here on my phone and relay them to the lovely people that are sitting on the couch right now. And once again, thank you guys so much for being here. Honestly,
Thanks for having us.
I remember when I first saw you guys over at Lost Lake. That was a really cool show, and I instantly knew that I wanted to get you guys on here because your music is distinctively your own. I feel like there's a lot of really fun sort of. Well, whenever I hear people singing in Spanish, I think it touches me in a particular way. But the instrumentalism around it is, I think, what makes it really special. It definitely conveys a really cool message, even if people can't understand it. You know, which I mean, in Denver, there's probably enough Spanish.
It's a better spot for most.
Boulder, not so much. But yeah, so you started off releasing a single called Maybe. Do you want to tell me a little bit about that song in particular, and what made that the special song you guys wanted to release first? I feel like first releases are always kind of distinctively, you know, there's a story behind them.
Anna and Moyer had a very strong will they, won't they storyline at the beginning.
I've known Mario since I was 15. We'll just as that. But Maybe was one of the easiest songs to write. I think sometimes when you're, like, you have moments where it takes, like, forever to write a song. For example, Kiss Me and Cry took a while to write. I think you sat on it for like a year and a half or so.
Practicing it.
And just never had anything.
Yeah.
But with Maybe, we wrote it, I think, like, in one or two, like, practices, and even, like, lyric-wise, it's just one of those things where, like, I knew what the lyrics were supposed to be without really knowing what they meant. Overall, I think that when we played it live, it was one of the ones that really hyped people up the most, that people could come back and be like, that one song that you guys played, like, we really liked that song, like, how, you know, the first one you started off, or whatever it was in the set, like, that was one that was very memorable to a lot of the audiences whenever they came in. The song lyrically is about Mara and I will they, won't they, because we were very good friends for so long, and then we always did the thing of like, we're just really good platonic friends, like, oh my god, it's so nice. So we'd like would have conversations like, oh my god, it's so nice to have a friend that's like platonic and blah 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 blah. And we always dated other people throughout that time, and then we've been together 4 years now. So, like, lyric-wise, that's what it's about, but I think as far as choosing it as a single, it was definitely one that just, like, stuck with everybody, and was one that, like, I think really outlined the sound that we were creating for ourselves, too.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's really remarkable when songs just kind of pop out when they're ready. It's a great feeling, and it's definitely makes you feel... it's, as an audience member, I feel like it comes across really distinctively when a song is, like, special in that way, that it's just like, oh, like, this is so obviously their thing, and, like, it is being expressed so clearly that when it comes to writing, I feel like it's kind of a great, like, joy, you know, to have it come out of you so easily. So we are about a third of the way through the show now, and I know you guys had 3 songs that you wanted to play.
4,
So-
I think, right?
3, 4.
4? I think we had 4, yeah.
3-ish, yeah.
4, yeah.
3-ish.
3.5.
Maybe 4.
It's like stop in the middle of it. We could get right back into it if you guys would like, or we could keep chatting a little bit more.
A little bit more, and then if we could
Yeah.
take a quick pause to check sound and everything, yeah.
Of course, yeah. So, the next release was in the same year, 2020, and it was Immigrant's Child, and it had Maybe on it as a single, and there was a couple of other songs. You know, I feel like you already kind of answered this question in a way, but off of this album, are there any favorite songs that you guys like off of it?
Off the debut,
I know songs you don't like.
Mario has a
That's an
history of,
acceptable answer too.
Mario particularly has a history of like writing songs and then hating them, like just eventually,
Yeah.
or either just like immediately or after some time. So
it's like I'll bring it in and when they're like, yeah, let's do it, let's go back to that one, I'm like, yeah, I don't like it anymore. It's, it's pretty routine. Well, 2 of them are we still play in rotation, so and that's Maybe, but Maybe we actually reworked. So it's a different version of it that we're playing live now. But the other 2, so the 2 that we play live are Maybe and FF1 of the E-line. And Josiah actually wrote FF1 of the E-line, the bass idea for it, the original. And that one was probably actually the very first song that was written
That was a very
between
nice.
them 2.
Not just us two, as a whole.
Well, no, but even before we stepped in, because remember Josiah made the file on, what were you using? Was it like the free version of Ableton or something like that?
I forget what the program I was using. I was using some workshop, some DAW that
Yeah.
and I was in my college dorm, so I like recorded
And I was going to school at CSU and you
Yeah.
sent it to me and we're like, what?
yeah, so that one we wrote a long time ago, but we didn't actually end up finishing writing it, and the final song actually came up to be like very different from
Very different.
from the original, but yeah, so
We
that
have old
it
recordings.
was one of the older songs we had, but we also didn't finish it until, I think we finished Maybe and some other songs way before we finished FF1, so.
It was probably right before we went into recording as well. So those 2 are still played, and then the 2 that we've moved on or moved away from, maybe not permanently, but at least for sure for now, are Restless and Valentina. They're fun.
I still like them.
They're just really long.
I still like them, but we haven't played them in a while.
Yeah, I feel like that was not a very convincing answer. I'm not gonna dig in on that one.
Yeah.
In terms of live performances, do you guys have any favorite songs you love performing in front of people because you see their reaction, or because it's like fun to technically play, or feels really good to sing or drum?
Overthink's super fun.
I was going to say the
Yeah.
same thing. I really love to play Overthink. I think it's one of my favorite like bass parts that I've written. It's I think the audience usually point that one out too, and so but it's also just really fun to play.
Yeah, last time we played Larimer, some guy came up to us and was like, that song.
Yeah, I think that song is actually the first song we wrote with Colin, if I remember correctly.
Did you write that before that?
I think we did. Well, I think the idea of Sap was there, but we didn't finish.
No, Overthink was finished before Sap.
So yeah, I think was the first song we wrote with Colin, which is also what makes it pretty special too. But yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
SAP is really, it's awesome to see crowd reactions too, because SAP, which stands for Spanish Audio Programming, is actually Kiana's first full song all in Spanish. And it has a strong Latin beat influence, a really strong reggaeton beat influence.
Yeah.
And that's my fault, because I was listening to a lot of Bad Bunny, and I still
Don't
do.
you say my fault, like it's a bad thing.
But I like toyed with the idea for like a year, and I kept making like little demos, and I would show them to Kiana. And I think I said one time, I sent one to the entire group when Brendan was still around, just saying like, this is where I envision a direction for us. I think it would be cool and interesting to see what we can do here. Because I feel like Latin percussion to be used in the alt space in English, or just in the way that we wanted to use it, where it's a bit more aggressive, a bit harder,
I didn't feel like I really was seeing too much of it. There's plenty of like all Latin artists, indie Latino artists as well, but I wanted something that smacks you, and so to go from reggaeton, you know, like this soft like reggaeton ballad, like emotional, to like guitars and drums just like crashing in and making this big deal out of it. That's the impact that I wanted. I wanted people to be like, yeah, you can groove, and then it's like, whoa, what the hell just happened? So
It's probably our most like bipolar song.
yeah.
I love bipolar songs, for the record. I feel like it pulls me in two very different directions and emotionally kind of whiplashes sometimes. I think that's an important sort of mood to cultivate when you can. As far as genres, I hate asking this question honestly, so I have a very different way I like to ask. Who do you guys see yourselves as like opening up for? Like who would you like dream to be like the opener for?
I think we all have different answers.
Yeah.
You guys can all have different answers.
I need a minute. Why you start?
Josiah, you start.
Oh, I think that was already answered.
Who's gonna say the Mars Volta?
It's funny.
People do compare us to the Mars Volta a lot, which I think is very nice. I take that as a compliment.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think all of us have like very different and kind of distinct like influences, and all those kind of influences kind of just kind of get mashed together in our music, and I feel like that's kind of where our sound comes from. But like, I don't know. For me, like I really love like a lot of like I listen to like mostly like kind of like, what do they call, like kind of early 2000s like kind of rock bands, which are like Arctic Monkeys, Cage the Elephant,
Yeah.
things like that, and a lot of also like classic rock bands like Beatles, Led Zeppelin, obviously,
Grand Funk.
Grand Funk, yeah, I've been also them too. Well, I've also been listening to like a lot of like kind of like Japanese like city pop.
Yeah.
That's
City pop.
Yeah, I mean there's this.
God, people love that stuff.
There's this guy,
nowadays.
Yeah.
Ginger Root. I love him. He's amazing.
Yeah.
He's like very much kind of like the modern kind of take on that kind of like Japanese city pop,
Right.
and I love him. I would love to open for him, but I also feel like we're not genre-wise not anything like him. So I don't know if it would be a good fit. But so I don't know. I guess just the one that comes off the bat is like Cage the Elephant. I think that'd be fun to open
Yeah.
for,
That'd be
and that our the genres at least have some overlap.
Speaking of, just real quick aside, Japanese genres, which I'm kind of romantically obsessed with, honestly.
Mhm.
Do you like Japanese jazz?
Yeah, I've been like slowly getting more into it. But yeah.
Or like fusion, like
Yeah, they're like
Cassiopeia.
fusion
Cassiopeia is
stuff,
good. Yeah,
Cassiopeia.
Cassiopeia is amazing.
Takanaka and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
I feel like Block Party would be great to open for.
Ooh, yeah, I totally see that actually.
Nothing
Yeah.
but Thieves.
I would
Yeah.
love to open for that.
Kaiser Chiefs, maybe.
Kaiser Chiefs. I haven't heard them in forever. I just listened to them last night because I was playing games and listening to the Guitar Hero 3 soundtrack. And Ruby came on. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, I think I
Cool.
have that same answer. Nothing but these would be incredible to
Yeah.
open for.
Really can't recommend them enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my biggest, like, one of my favorite bands, especially in the last few years, has been Idols. So that'd be like,
okay.
Idols would
Idols
be
would be
Idols
cool,
would be
yeah.
amazing.
that'd be a huge moment to like get to open for a band like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally hear a little bit of like proggy stuff going on with what you guys do sometimes. And stuff that's been like really, a band that's been really on the rise lately is like Polyphia. Definitely kind of more in like the electronic spectrum sometimes, but I could see that happening too.
Yeah. Tim Henson's insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is.
His guitar skill, like, he
The power comes from the neck tats.
obviously, yeah. He made not the classical guitar isn't like popular or like, you know,
Yeah.
isn't a mainstay in the guitar world, but he made everyone go out and get an electric classical guitar with the nylon strings
I know.
because he played it on their newest, like one of their newest songs. Now
Right.
everyone wants an electric classical. It's like, what?
So, such a bad, I know. And I was just about to buy one right before that came out.
and then everything just
And then I was
shot
like,
up.
well, I can't just do that. So you guys recently released a little EP, right? Can we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah.
What was your inspiration behind naming it?
Papalo, I mean, aside from just the immigrant imagery, I felt that,
Oh, we talked about this right at the beginning.
yeah,
didn't we?
just the name, but
Right.
we did go a bit further into it since this was Colin's record that he came onto.
Yeah, it's the first EP
yeah.
we did with Colin.
Because the previous two were done with our previous drummer, Brendan, and as cheesy as it may be, it was just changed. It was, you know, new butterfly, new time, new band, new lineup.
Well, not just that, because we didn't really have the butterfly imagery before. I feel like we establishing ourselves as like Immigrant's Child, but with Colin, because you know
Yeah.
we didn't want him to feel like he had to fit into some mold or like just kind of grow into something. We wanted to be like, well, you're part of the band, and like we're gonna grow together. Like part of all that is like growing together, and so I think it was also just a mix of that, and then also like rebranding ourselves together.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so important to kind of, you know, have a strong relationship with your bandmates.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people take it for granted how much work goes into actually just cultivating a safe space where everybody kind of feels like they can trust each other and play well together. And obviously you guys have been together for a lot longer, but bringing somebody on, that can be really intimidating. Entering sort of like this agreement with people who have already kind of been doing it for a long time. So, but it's also a big honor for people to take on a new musician and know exactly what they want, you know.
We're super fortunate, super fortunate. Kiana's actually our drum identifier, our drummer identifier. Kiana met Brendan when they were working for CU Catering for the university,
Okay.
and then Kiana met Colin when they were both working for School of Rock as instructors.
I just strictly work places where they're drummers,
Yeah.
our drummers, just in case.
That helps, yeah. I mean, they can be hard to find, and they're always busy doing things, hitting things. So, when do you guys plan on releasing any other material? Do you have, I know that there's some ramblings, some musings of a little debut song on the sofa.
Yeah.
And whenever I know that people are working on stuff, which obviously, you know, being in a band, you're always working on stuff. Do you think you're going to release a single again, or we working toward the longer sort of releases this time?
I think we're kind of struggling to we're looking for a new voice, but having a hard time settling on a new sound.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we're doing a lot of experimenting, doing a lot of home recording. I'm fortunate enough to have my own studio in my basement, so we're able to record demos and develop in a more concrete way where it's not just ideas up here, it's actually something we can listen to and develop on. But we haven't really fully settled in on something. We have like 4 or 5 ideas that we've been basically playing on for the last like 6 months to a year, but none of them are, you know, is this just fun to play or is this actually us?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that we're in that kind of stage right now.
Identity is a very challenging thing to walk in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But having, you know, a clear idea of this works or this doesn't work is just as difficult of to maintain. So having like taste, I think, is part of what makes it easy, but it also makes it hard because you guys are the, you know, selectors of what is allowed and what isn't, and it's important to be a little bit selective, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We are now halfway through the show. Congratulations. How are we guys doing?
Great.
We should play some music.
Yeah, let's play some
You
music.
want to play some music?
Yeah.
Let's do it. We wanted to do a quick sound check or something,
Yeah.
right?
Sure.
Was it the drums? Were they a little low?
I'm feeling fine and dandy.
Okay.
We just got some feedback that it's There's just a lot of feedback and very blown out, like
Oh,
super
it's-
loud.
I
spicy.
think I fixed
Yeah.
it. Was,
Okay.
How long ago was that?
It was for the
message?
performance at the start.
Yeah, I am, sorry about that.
Oh no,
But
good.
we've got it locked in. It's this new mixer. I love all these new faders I've got, but sometimes they just go crazy.
I want to do like the 2 songs and the one at the end, like bass one and then kill some time back to back.
If you'd like to talk about the songs too, that's
Sure, I like that, yeah.
Yeah.
2 and 1.
2 and 1.
go for it.
What do you want to start with?
We're gonna do D&B.
Sure.
So yeah, this is another idea we are developing. So this is more of just an instrumental.
Cool, cool.
Yeah.
That's cool as hell. That like jungle-esque kind of drum and bass thing is really challenging to do on drums in general, but on an octopad I feel like even more.
We struggled with it. We played it about 10 different ways, and you just got one of them.
I definitely had to push him a little bit to I think it works, guys. We can do it.
I don't know if I'm feeling it, man. I don't know if I'm feeling it. So, yeah, Josiah got me there. Thank you.
Well, good job, Josiah.
Oh,
It definitely needed to come out. And you said you guys were kind of working on this as like an experiment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We've definitely worked on this one a while. It's gone through a couple of different iterations, and I do think it's something we will have like a more polished version of it in the future, and it'll still have that same vibe, but it's probably have a different structure and different
Sure.
kind of style to it. But it's definitely
Yeah.
something we want to expand and keep going with.
Yeah, I'll probably be on kit, and Kenna will hopefully be singing on it. So.
I'm excited to see where that goes. By the way, did we fix the sound? I think so, right?
I believe so.
Excellent. That is very important for I mean, you know, I love the video aspect of this show, but certainly without sound, people do get a little ornery.
Yeah.
Cool. So you guys want to jump right in another one you said, or?
Yeah, actually both of these are new. So that first one, which is like, they just kind of call it, I've been saying, just an idea. This next one's also just an idea, but I sing on this one, so.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Oh boy. And I didn't mute my mic in time. I am a mess today, but you guys know all about that. Great tune. I like that a lot.
Thank you.
It definitely has some. I hope I don't sneeze again, please God. Nope. Here we go again. This is the first time I am having a sneezing attack on the show, and I guess this is probably something that hosts should not do. But so the sentimental quality in that song obviously affected Scooter quite a bit.
Congratulations.
You passed the Scooter exam. And,
Thanks, Scooter.
what was that one called?
there's a really bad name and we're not gonna use that name.
Title.
No, it's so cheesy, it's so bad. We don't know yet.
Working title.
Untitled.
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 Should we do the Kendrick thing, Untitled 7?
That or whatever Mario has it marked up on his phone, because mostly like it's like new shit, that random shit. I don't know what the fuck this is. That's what he usually names all of his
Yeah, I do.
his audio whenever he's writing something at home.
And
So
every iteration is like 01, 02, B1.
Final mix master B3.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I am familiar with such naming schemes, I would say. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Oh god. I am
Bless
fighting for
you.
my life right now. But we're gonna make it. We are 3/4 of the way through the show. Congratulations. I love these little checkpoints. So you guys have been in the scene for quite some time. Not just as musicians, but you've been living here.
That's
You've been living here as Colorado natives. Are you guys all from Colorado? You were born in Mexico.
Mhm.
You, second generation
yes.
here.
So we're both born here, yeah. Yeah, born here, raised
Born
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was born in Littleton.
Amazing. How do you guys feel about how the music scene has grown, and what are some of your favorite things about it?
It's been super interesting.
Yeah.
I grew up listening to 93.3, like every angsty kid that grew up in Colorado before, you could hook up your phone so easily to your car.
You know?
And so there was a bunch of bands that would come through, and they would always make a point of saying, like, you're Colorado's own The Fray, Colorado's own Tickle Me Pink. So the association that I had with the state and music was like, oh, it's so far and few in between. You'd be lucky to get a band that comes out of the state. And then now it's like, you have so many acts, whether, it doesn't, not even just tied to rock, but like when you go to EDM, when you go to pop, like so much music is coming out of Colorado now. And I feel it's just a matter of some odd years before people start looking at Colorado, and specifically at Denver, as like a hub for live music and a hub for up and coming acts, because that's what's happening very frequently right now, at least what I feel. So it's been really nice to see this explosion of how I put it in that document, the fuck it, I'ma do it attitude. And it applies to everything, and so music being one of those things now. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's just like a collective, like, I don't know, just a huge group of people in Colorado that just have a collective, like, yeah, let's just do this ourselves kind of mentality at the same time. Like,
It's super DIY kind of
yeah,
vibes.
and so I think it's been really cool to see, like, kind of just like this explosion of just like the local music scene, especially like in the last couple of years. I feel like it's been on the rise, and so I think it's been cool to be a part of that and to see it. And I think, just excited to see where it goes from here, so
Yeah.
hopefully we'll be on the map, so to speak, in terms of like just kind of these big music hubs, in the future, but who's to say?
Yeah, I mean, Denver has a really unique sort of problem, but it's one of its strengths is that it is very difficult to tour out of here. Where a band might achieve popularity on the East Coast by hitting up a bunch of different scenes in any, order from going south to east to just north or anywhere. You end up with a lot more options and therefore a lot more audiences that can bring you out, and you meet a lot of other bands from other towns coming from your town. So the scene is a lot easier to cultivate out there, but that also means that Denver is more tightly knit. The people know each other, and in general, the talent is higher because people have to fight for it a lot harder.
Yeah.
Fight for the same audiences, and also, deal with being less popular than perhaps, artists that have been around for just as long. Do you guys have any favorite friends or other bands out there currently in the scene that you guys really appreciate what they're doing, how long they've been around,
yeah.
the music, the people?
Y'all want me to list, or y'all want to go? Yeah, I feel like we have a lot.
We can start off with giving a shout out to VCO, which is another band that Colin is a part of.
Okay.
We are the side chick.
Yeah, we're the mistress, but yeah, it's they're great. You should definitely check them out.
Yeah. I've met one
Tweet
of
Russ
I think
or
so.
Zach.
I
I think you met Zach.
think it was Zach.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he hangs out with the people in the tweet crowd and
Yeah,
Zoe and
and he does the jam on Wednesdays.
Where's that?
At Jungle.
Well, yeah, of
He's
course
the
I met
drummer.
that Zach, but I met somebody else too. I must have met.
Then Russ is
Russ.
the super tall guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's tall.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody seems tall to me, honestly.
How tall is Russ?
He's pretty damn tall.
It's like 7,
Russ
8.
is pretty tall.
Yeah, 7, 9, right?
I love messing with people who are super tall, and I always say, "What are you, like 5'11"? And they lose it.
6'1", actually. 6'1".
Some people, that's how you like get tall people angry, honestly. So that's how you do it.
Undershoot the height.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
they should
5'12" or something, right?
I mean, I've recently made some pretty good friends with Sour Magic. Sour Magic are really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just lovely human beings too.
Mhm.
And
Saw them last night, which is
Yeah.
why I'm in this state.
yeah.
I shouldn't have gone to Goose Town afterwards. That was stupid.
Yeah.
My lady's really great. Well, everyone just at the Salt Lick is amazing.
Yeah.
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 Soy Celeste.
Mm-hmm. I was just about to say her.
Ooh, I just started following them. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great.
They're great.
Well, and when Soy Celeste started, it was just her and the guitar.
Yeah.
And now full band. So
Yeah, it's
seeing
really
that,
cool to see her grow.
yeah, seeing the growth has been really cool, and she just gets better and better.
Pleasure Prince,
Pleasure
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 Prince
Prince
is
are good
great.
people.
they're great.
Shadow Work.
Shadow Work is
Pleasure
awesome.
Yeah.
Shadow Work's
Mhm.
great.
I don't think I follow Pleasure Prince.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can look them up. They're great.
Also, just lovely human beings.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I do like nice human beings.
Yeah,
We played a poorly attended show in Colorado Springs with
Yeah,
them.
we
We found
went to
it
Colorado
with them
Springs with
over-
them, and
We rallied.
Yeah.
it was, the experience wasn't amazing, but we were there with them, and so that
Yeah.
brought her together. But
That always
Trauma
counts for a
bonding.
lot.
yeah,
And then shout out Totem Pocket.
Oh, Totem Pocket.
One of my absolute favorite Denver bands,
Huh.
and also fantastic people.
I haven't seen them yet, but
Yeah.
I do follow them.
Yeah.
I feel like we're
Put on a
definitely
show.
leaving people out because there's a lot of great bands, and we've had a pleasure.
Iscali. Oh my gosh,
Oh,
Iscali's massive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just too many to list almost.
La Mañana, well, I'll just list them.
Yeah.
La Mañana's Neo Maloon.
Oh yeah.
Wow, now I'm
they
gonna
just
be on
played
this
at Red
one.
Rocks. Did you see that?
Yeah, they did it for Filming the Rocks. I did
Ooh.
see that.
Cool.
It's really exciting.
Cool opportunity.
Tres Leches is from
Oh.
Portland, from Washington.
Oh, okay, no, I thought for
Yeah.
some reason I thought they were from here.
It's because we know Jesus. Jesus Ortiz. He's the man to know.
Okay.
He knows everybody. too.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'll have to introduce myself.
He's so cool.
yeah.
Yeah, he goes to like he's like just such a big fan of just music in general. He goes to like pretty much like a show like every night. It seems like and so
Yeah.
he just has like connections with like pretty much all the local bands. So and he's also just a great person.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
super
trying to
great.
become.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to become best friends.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or rivals.
Your rivals like on the outside, so you like from this clicks, but behind the scenes you're really friends. You
You're
know?
like,
Right.
Yeah.
Gotta drive up the the drama.
Yeah.
For the
Drama Mondays.
Cool. Well, you guys did say that you wanted to play one more, right?
Mm.
Or half of one more.
Well, the one that
The instrumental.
first one the first one we played for that second set, the one we said were like the drum and bass kind of sounding one. That was that half one we were talking about because
Ah.
it's not a full song.
But we just did it, so we have the full song.
Yeah, we have a full song left.
And it sounds cool, honestly. It's always an interesting sort of thing when people bend the genre meter in different directions, and I think that one definitely has a
hmm
has a quality that if you've played it out, I'm sure you see it on people's faces like this is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel I have this conversation with them all the time, and I have it with everyone. I would rather have a band experiment and have it not work out than to just stay
Stay in one
Mhm.
lane.
stay stagnant and stay stale. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. Music is meant you're supposed to have fun with it.
Mhm.
You're supposed to get weird with it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, if you want to make it a relatable thing, then that's its own thing. But at a certain point, I feel like every musician is like, I want to be weird.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And great, cool shit comes out of being weird. So
Everyone has to go through a Sgt. Pepper phase, and they either great make a Sgt. Pepper or they don't.
Right. By the way, we are about 5 minutes away from 7 o'clock.
Okay.
And in these last couple minutes, I always like to give you guys the opportunity to shout out some shows that you've got coming up. Shout outs to people in your life or the community that you really want to say thanks for, supporting us, and, merch drops, Instagram handles, all that good stuff. Calls to action, stuff you can't do on the radio.
wash your hands.
Ooh.
Wash your hands and be clean because Kiana's sick. That's why she's not singing with us tonight.
I'm not contagious. I just want to say that everybody's going to be like, there's no mask. She's in a room, they're not 6 feet distance. I'm not contagious. I was sick for a whole week, and like, talking is, the fact that I can talk right now is pretty good. I mean, like, Mario knows there was like mornings where I was like, like my tonsils were so like swollen and my face was swollen. But yeah, wash your hands, folks.
Yep.
Be clean. And I think the biggest show that we have coming up, well, there's two. So we have Headroom Sessions in July, on July 20th. It's a Thursday.
Yeah.
And then we have another show on August 11th, Friday. It is for B Music Fridays with MCA, so the Museum of Contemporary Art in Denver. And those shows are on their rooftop.
Yep.
So if you're looking for a cool show and a cool venue,
And you actually want to
that'll
hear
be
Canna
the one.
sing, check
Yeah.
us out.
Yeah, that's
She's
the
a good
real
singer,
reason.
folks.
I'm withholding.
Yeah, she's just being a diva right now, but
Yeah.
she'll be fine for those shows.
The water wasn't room temperature enough, so I can't sing it threw off my vocal.
Yeah.
but you brought that
Scooter's not
water.
cute enough.
Didn't know that.
But Kiana brought that water.
Oh, your own water.
I only
Fire
sing for
her.
audiences of 100 people or one dog.
Shout out to Scooter.
Yeah, Scooter, you want to duet this next one?
He's a good singer.
Yeah.
He's been on it a couple times.
Oh, he's gonna duet. I already know it.
What are we playing?
Give us some time.
Yeah, that one.
I had a moment too where I was like, what are you guys playing? I'm just vibing here.
So, Taylor Swift can have versions of her old songs, and we have Mario's version of this song. So that's what this is. Yes, preach it, Scooter. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course.
We appreciate it.
Hey,
Podcasts are my favorite things to do.
you guys are the stars. Thank you for being here. I can't do this without the camera.
Alrighty.
Yes.
Yeah, warm up, Scooter. You can write it in your diary. Wish you'd be unalive again. Can't waste time on your misery. It's always sing, Scooter.
That
Thanks,
was like
Scooter.
flower. Yeah, Scooter loves that one. Not gonna lie, he is very happy that you guys were here. You made his day.
He made our day. Jinx.
Aw, so does all around. Once again, thank you guys so much for being here. For you guys out there, this is Immigrant's Child. Check them out on their Instagram. Check them out at their MCA show. Check them out at Headroom Sessions. Check out their old Camera Jam episode. It's probably up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go see that. And yeah, stay tuned for next week. We got Peter Stone coming in. And any last words, guys? Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you,
Thank you
Scooter.
so much for
Thank
having
you.
us. Yeah. Thank
Of course.
you.
Of course.
And
Well-
last word, Scooter.
Scooter?
Oh.
All right, y'all. Signing off. Have a good night.